QXTV to you on YouTube has been a real labor of love, but we're going to ask one little favor, that you click on the like option below and the subscribe option below. That's right, like us and subscribe to us. And if you want to know every time we load up a video, you can click on the notification bell and that will let you know every time we load up a video. But if you don't want to necessarily know every time we load up a video, you just want to like us and subscribe to us, just click on those options below so that we can continue bringing you this channel for years to come. Thank you for watching QXTV. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Caribbean House Talk. On Caribbean House Talk, we always aim to bring you the issues that are funny, curious, and even tearfully serious. And today's Caribbean House Talk, we have quite a show lined up for you. And we're hoping that we could edutain you, as we say. We educate while entertaining you. That's our goal. All right, you ladies, you look quite splendid.
Yes.
And look like you're ready to roll, right?
Yes,
We're
ready.
All right, so I'm gonna have Alma pick out our spicy dish, and we always start with our spicy dish.
Okay. Hello everyone. This week's spicy dish is, what would you do if your coworker always touch you and pretend it's an accident?
Ooh. Oh boy. Break his hand? No.
No. The first time I think the first time is a given. It can get away with that. But then the second time, no, we're going to have a talk. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be a pleasant talk. Because I could blow up very easy and for no reason sometimes. But this gives me a good reason to really blow up. Mm-hmm. I'd let them know right away, this ain't no accident and don't do it again. Mm-hmm. And with a few choice words, of course. But
what if it's your boss and he has
my boss? Then that's worse.
To fire you.
That is worse.
You know, thankfully we're living in the age of the Me Too generation where women don't have to feel like they have to put up with stuff like this.
You see, the problem with this is a lot of people are afraid of the word fire. But sometimes that word is to keep you quiet. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to be afraid of your boss. Don't be afraid. You have to let them know, because at the end of the day, they are human beings just like you. Mm-hmm. They laugh when you tickle them. They bleed when they get cut. So take your choice. Make a choice. Make a choice right there and then, and let that person know this ain't gonna fly. No.
And I said that because there are people who are listening and saying they might be experiencing this, and they're saying, but it's my boss that's doing it. So that's why I brought that up. But you're right. You shouldn't be afraid to speak up. Because you know what? You're not living in an era where this stuff is tolerated. Because no matter how big and bad that boss think he is, if he thinks you're going to go to the EEOC, or you're going to go to the media, or you're going to go in the newspaper and do something on it, he is going to think twice. You know?
Because sometimes 99 times out of 100, your boss have a boss. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to let this person know that you're not afraid of being fired. Because if you get fired, he might get fired too. Because he have a boss too. Mm-hmm. Or she have a boss too. These days it's
and you're thinking HR. You're thinking HR is going to get involved when they're firing you, and then you say, okay, what am I being fired for? He was sexually harassing me.
Yeah.
You know. So what about you? What do you think?
Oh, no, I totally agree with what Irma said and what you said. You don't put up with that kind of thing. You know, one time, you know, sometimes people talk and they touch when they talk, but, you know, repeatedness of that, it's on purpose, I think.
It is.
And I think that you have to just have a conversation with that person and let them know. Keep your hands to yourself. I don't like to be touched. I don't, you know, believe in that. And, you know, let them know. If they touch you again, I'm going to have to report you or do whatever. But you cannot put your hands on you.
That's true.
Well, I agree with what everybody says, but I want to play devil's advocate. What if you like it?
She said, what if you like it?
Well, if you like it, then you ain't going to complain about it, right?
What if you like it and
you
somebody saw your boss doing it and you know?
If you like it, you say nothing. You just say, oh, it's an accident. You play with him. You play it off too as an accident.
That's still a bad
then
person.
one
But
day,
down the road,
one day,
you might change your mind. when it's late.
Then
you
it's
know?
when they're gonna come back to haunt you, because when you change your mind, now you're in a spot where
Listen,
you
that
get
goes back to
nothing.
something we
And
talked
that's it.
about on this show. You never eat in the same place. So you
Exactly.
shouldn't be dating nobody.
Exactly.
Even if I like somebody at my job, I wouldn't act on it. I want them to come towards me with that. Because that sets up a whole can of worms there that I'm not willing to open. You know? So I definitely, I mean, I remember one time I had someone who, I think this person was really just touchy-feely. When he talks, he would say, you know what I mean? Something,
Yeah, some people
and I didn't
do
make a
that.
big deal over the hand. But when he did that to my leg one day, I said, yeah, I don't think this person, honestly do not think that they were doing any sexually harassing way. So I made like sort of a joke out of it in this way. I said, you're a touchy-feely person, aren't you? You're a little touchy-feely. And I think he can laugh, right? And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. And he apologized. It never happened again. Okay? But if you tell someone that they're too touchy-feely and they're still doing it, or have a serious conversation, I don't like people to touch me, and they're still doing it, then definitely it's bordering in that area, in that border of harassing.
Yeah.
But things have changed really a lot, from my working days, because I mean, I remember years and years ago in Jamaica when I was young, and the boss says, come around here, Hyacinth. Well, they didn't call me Hyacinth in Jamaica, they called me Cherry. Come around here, Cherry, and let's look at this thing together. And I remember him doing this,
Oh dear.
So of course, you go to your desk and you think about it. You don't know what to do because you don't want to be fired. Who do you talk to and all that. And I remember he did it the second time. So I went home and I spoke to my uncle, I remember. And he said, you box him in his face.
Oh my God.
Just give him, so guess what? I left the job. I actually left the job because I saw
Without
that.
saying anything.
I gave my notice, I got another job.
Because women were fearful. Women were fearful in those days of the repercussions. But today, thankfully, we don't have to.
That was
suffer
my
that.
first job too. Of coming out of school and very attractive, and
Oh, we could see that.
But I thought he probably thought I was game because I'm young, But that now you can look at it now in a different light and realize in your head what this person is doing. Telling you, it's not easy.
It's not easy out there for young women, but generally speaking, in men and women, it's really not an easy thing out there for people who are being touched in ways
inappropriately,
like that they don't really approve of or don't want upon them. But at the same time, because of the job thing, the fear of losing their job, they have kids, they have family to help and all that. They take a lot of stuff, but at the same time, it is not okay to do that.
To do that, exactly.
It's not.
Okay, I'll move on to the next topic, and I'll do the honors. Is it selfish to have children and marry? In other words, you have children, but now you marry a childless person, knowing they want children and you do not, or can't have. In other words, I have children.
I got you.
I marry a man who doesn't have children. I know that he hoped to have children. I either can't have or I don't want to, but I go ahead and marry him anyway. Is it selfish?
Why would it be selfish if you two have discussed the
Suppose you haven't
situation?
discussed
If you
the
have-
situation.
Well, you have to
There's
have
no way
discussed
that
it
you can
into
be
the-
into something like that and not discuss it.
Listen, I brought this up because I know of someone who's dating someone. The person doesn't have children. This woman, most likely, them eggs done dry up already, okay? And she's super, because he doesn't know enough about this stuff. So she's souping up his head about, having children. And I'm gonna have
that's
children.
a whole different. She's
Right.
deceiving him.
And he's getting sucked in, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that chick,
that's
them eggs
totally
done dried up and baked and dried.
No, I wouldn't.
That's for discussion.
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
But there are also women who they're not necessarily married, but they're in relationships with men who does not have children. And I think we covered this a little bit at one point, maybe not in the exact words, but something like this. And we give an example of Demi Moore. Demi Moore was with this young guy for years, and even I started thinking, okay, this might work. And eventually, now you don't know what goes on behind the scenes, But eventually, there came a point when they broke up, and he's now on with somebody else and have children. And I don't know the ins and outs behind their issue, but one would expect at some point you want a piece of yourself replicated out there. And we did cover this because I remember I said something which I'm just about to say. Why would why would a young man, say my son, and he bring home some chick who I know either can't give him a kid, or she said something to somebody I know that she doesn't want children, or she don't have kids and figure, I don't want any more kids. He deserves to have somebody go lay an egg for him, meaning a kid. Why the hell should my son be sad?
That's his conversation with his woman. You know,
but you know, love do stupid things to people.
That's okay. If you love this person and you say it's okay, you know, that we don't have children, that's between the two of you. And there should be no guilt involved. I wouldn't feel any guilt, you know.
I want some grandchildren
later on, but that's you.
Yeah, I want some grandchildren.
But you're not
and I know
in a
he's going to change. And I know he's going to change his mind one day and probably go cheat on the chick because
then that's up to them. See, the whole thing is that when you're marrying somebody or you're with somebody who's older, you know, who may have passed the childbearing age or may have difficulty, the two of you have to have had a conversation about that. You talk about
I'll give him a conversation. You have this is my opinion.
And if he says he's okay with it, then he's okay with it. Whether he's
okay with it now,
then they will enjoy the time that they have for now.
This is what
and
I
if
say.
at some point later on he changes his mind, fine.
As a mother,
but I'm not going to fall out of love with somebody. If you love me and I love you, I'm not going to, you know, not marry you or whatever because later on I'm worried about you may have kids. You may want kids. I mean, we had a discussion.
I think it's selfish. That's what I think.
I
think it's selfish. You don't have somebody you don't laid your eggs out for somebody. Okay, I remember my mother. One of her son's wife, never name him. They were a lovely lady, and when they got married, she had a child before. And my mother came. My mother's like me. She's very plain spoken. She don't mince words, and she loved this girl. But she was saying, "Well, when are you guys gonna have a kid?" And she said, "Oh, Mother, we're not ready yet. We're just giving us some time." And she said, "You had a kid before you were married for somebody else. You don't think my son want a child?" She said, "He need a child." Now, when she came back the next year, not because she said it that they had the child, but they had a baby and she was the happiest thing. But I remember sitting there and I was thinking the same thing. But I am still not as brazen as my mother, so I didn't say it. But I'm like, it's not like you some young chick that doesn't have a kid. You already have a kid for somebody else. Why you marry my brother and you don't give him a kid? So that's just my opinion.
Why did your brother marry the girl?
She's a lovely girl, and it was a good pick.
Exactly.
In her case, she wanted.
He was willing to deal with.
Right, and in her case, they were just waiting to get their finances. You know, the wedding is finished and they're getting their finances together. But I kind of hear where my mother head was going because I feel like that. Like if my son comes to me and he's with some woman who's an older woman, and I'm looking at this chick and saying, I know them eggs done dried up already. Okay, or I know that she ain't really want any kids. I'm like, boy, get some sense in your head. Go get somebody who can lay an egg for you. She done laid her eggs for somebody else.
Suppose he's
Go
so
have
in
somebody
love
who
with
can lay an
that
egg for you.
lady. I mean, you know, you as a mother, you have to shut up sometimes.
Exactly. Mind your business and stay out of
You
it.
all know me better than that.
He's not going to shut up.
You know,
I'm try it.
he
He's not
probably
going to
would
shut
lose
up.
that girl
And
that
so,
he loves so much.
So go get somebody who can lay an egg, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But get somebody who can lay an egg. That's all I say. Because I need to have me a little grandchild.
In today's world, things are different.
if they can't
They
make
can
and they
have-
love
they
each
can
other, they
adopt
can
if they
adopt a
want
baby.
children. Oh God, they take the
I want something with my blood in there. How about that?
Okay, my
they
youngest
want
son
to
is
adopt
getting
you,
married
though.
next year, okay? He's been married before.
Well, he
And
already
she
have an
has
egg.
been married before.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're still young enough to have children. And the girl decided that I don't want to have any more
That's
kids.
different. They
You know,
both have children.
all right.
But
so-
they're not giving you a grandchild either way.
But
There's
you have
another
already
one
by him.
between
It doesn't
them.
matter who the mother is, but he already gave you a grandchild by somebody else.
It hits home, so I don't want to talk more about it.
Are you thinking the way I'm thinking?
No,
Not
leave it
really.
alone.
At one point, one point I did think that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I, as a mother, I butt out. I just said, look, let it be. My oldest son, that's what he did, just what you're saying. Ludlow.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to call his name on TV, I forgot now.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to sit within myself and say, God
No, he doesn't
knows
have children?
best. No, he doesn't.
Oh.
That's his
And,
choice.
and his,
though.
his wife has children?
And I remember having a discussion with him. And he says, Mom, I love her enough to go get a dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will
That's
work.
love.
And
that's the kind of love that a lot
told
of
me
us
I
don't
should
have.
step back
That's right.
and let it be. And I prayed to God about it. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to let it be.
Absolutely. Mind
Because
your business.
what you're saying is not important to them
Mhm.
when they have already made up their
Yeah.
minds.
But the thing is, when a man could love a woman to that extent, that's love.
And you're fighting a losing
lot of
battle
people-
trying to
right.
interfere, yeah.
And a lot of people are very comfortable with that. And a lot of people don't have that kind of love.
But it also could be that
But-
the man can't have
And
kids.
in my heart,
No, he
in
can-
my heart, I say in his heart, he probably at some point say, "What did I do?" But I don't. I just leave that alone because
Let them deal with it.
that's
Let
his
That's
his
it.
thing. He had to deal with that. He raised her children,
Mm-hmm.
and
Do they think of him like a dad?
and they to some extent, I don't know. I don't live there, so I don't know. And I try not to find out either because I don't want to feel hurt in my. I have to be very peaceful too, So you
Yeah.
can't. So you have sometimes you just have to let it be. Cut.
You see, I have two boys. And honestly, I really don't mind whether they have kids or not. One, my son, the first one is talking about children. He would, I think he would. But the second one, his head is not even there.
Oh, he's
I
young
don't
probably,
even
and
think
just not thinking
he's
like that.
26. He's not that young.
Damn.
And if he is 26 and really don't have that inkling,
Mhm.
all power to him. I really don't mind. If I have a lot of kids, other people kids in my life,
Mhm.
I
Not the same.
so I know it's not the same. I know it's not the same,
Well,
but I am comfortable with the fact that if I don't have from them, it's okay.
Okay, you don't have son, but you have Joseph, my son, who's your godson. You wouldn't have a problem if he brings some old chick home that can't lay an egg?
It's not
Can't
my
lay an egg for him?
business. That's not our
Oh,
business.
well, it is my business. I guess that's where
No,
the mother
it's not
comes in.
your
Yes, it is my
business.
business. I would care.
You
So-
know,
so
because
people-
when you know what, when parents interfere in their children's lives, you can end up losing your child because you're so involved in what they do. Sometimes you have to just sit back and you have to accept things the way they
And
are.
I agree with that
And mind your
because
business.
that almost happened to me.
Yeah, you can lose
You
your own
understand?
Yeah.
I interfered.
No, you can't.
And I had to go to God and said, look, forgive me because, that's not my business. When you read the Bible, it tells you your children are not your possessions.
Exactly.
So you have to sort of sit back. In your heart, you're still going to have that fear.
Just
and
keep
all
your mouth
that.
shut.
But keep your mouth shut.
No, you're looking at me. You know who you're talking direct.
You
Keep my mouth shut.
No, one
Ah,
day.
That's what.
That's all I had to say
But
for you
that's
to do.
discipline.
Exactly.
One day you will realize what I'm saying.
You're gonna
Maybe
have
I'll
to-
grow into that. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
If
stay
you're
young.
put in that
So-
situation and it comes to the point where I'm gonna lose my child or I could keep butting in, you'll learn how to keep your mouth
And you
shut.
gotta be.
I believe
Well,
me.
let me say this. You gotta be. Unless I'm doing something really crazy with like cussing a girl or doing stuff like that, disrespecting her, as opposed to just telling my son, I think you need to get somebody to have a. Well, let me not say lay an egg. Sound like I'm talking about a chicken here. But unless I'm going to say get somebody, you don't think you should get somebody who could be able to have a child for you? So unless I'm saying that.
Well, if it's an extreme like
And
that,
my son, by the way, is in the audience, so he's listening.
no. But if he's going, he's old enough.
Yeah.
If he's going to be, let's say he's 25, and he's going to bring home a 45-year-old chick,
Oh no.
then you can, and he can't tell me that he's so much in love with this 45 at 25, unless she has money or something going on there. But I then probably you can take him one side, and say,
No, I wouldn't
what
be.
is
I wouldn't be
going on?
confrontational. But I would.
No,
I would
but
call him, and
you-
my son know me. I speak clear. I was his son. I know you're feeling in love with this chick right now, but she's old. Well, okay. I mean,
But
wait, let me finish.
that's
But
not
she
true
is
what you just
she
said.
is not able to have a child for you. And don't you think that's going to matter down the road? Now, let me say this. I do know when to pull back in the sense that if he is gung ho, I'm going to just shut up and say a prayer, and it's going to kill me to keep my mouth shut. But I'm good.
Exactly.
But
That's right.
I want to remind you that Michael Jackson's sister, what's her name?
Janet,
Janet, at 50 she had a child.
I mean, they're having kids older now.
Yeah.
So life,
Yep.
it's a balance, and but you have to learn to shut up.
Yeah, that's a hard thing I have a time doing. All right.
Okay, so I get the last one now.
I put that right back. No. Start
Oh, I
all the
ain't
way out.
touched this yet.
Mm-hmm. So you got to do the 12
Let
all the way up
me
there.
work
Okay.
my magic. Let me do me.
Okay.
All right.
Change it up.
Ooh, I got it right here. Ooh.
Okay.
right.
Would you date your doctor?
Ah!
Hey, date my doctor. Why not?
Yes, but which doctor is it? The OBGYN?
It doesn't matter.
Specific.
I have a female doctor.
I would have to be specific.
Well,
If it's
if
a male doctor.
let's say it's a male doctor,
If it's
OBGYN.
my OBGYN and dating him, he knows too much about me at that point.
But he already knows, so what's the difference?
Yeah, but too much. He knows more
My
than.
problem with that
And
is
he
that
will
he knows
always
about
be looking
everybody
for
else,
some
too.
more.
Exactly.
I don't want him going
no.
after everybody else.
So listen, I
Comparing.
wouldn't date my dentist because he's always going to be looking into my mouth when I speak. No, I leave my doctor out of this.
I would have no problem dating my doctor, and especially if he's an OBGYN.
No, I don't.
Because I feel like this, and listen, he done already seen what I might be holding back for a man to see. He already done
Yeah,
seen it.
but he's looking at vaginas all day.
So?
I don't think I like
Would
that.
you want him to look at penises?
I don't like the idea of looking and touching all day. No.
I would have no problem with that.
I would not date my doctor.
Mm.
I have a friend that dates her doctor, and it's too much. I can't handle that. So I said no. No to that one. I'm sorry, friend, but
But it's funny, I had a doctor who I had a crush on. I looked forward to going to see him. And guess what? He was my OBG. He doesn't know though, And I was married. He
Oh,
doesn't
you
know.
had a crush on him? Or he
I had a
crush?
crush on him.
Oh.
I had a crush. It was like it's like seeing this person come in the room. It was like God coming in the room.
Oh, you were having
You
the
were
thing.
gone.
Without having the thing.
And he had
you were gone.
and guess what? That's when I was trying to get pregnant with my second son, and he was sort of helping me, along telling me what to do, and because I had some problems and we had to fix it, and I'm saying, oh my
So he
God.
had to touch you in those intimate
when,
ways?
when
Oh,
he
yeah.
came
Ooh.
in the room, it's like, wow, God has appeared.
Oh my God, lady.
But I was talking to my other doctor. I was talking to my other doctor, and he said to me, he gave me a reason for that. He says, it's like your papa. You're looking forward to papa coming in your life, or what? He told me a lot of stuff, and then I said, this is not real. I had to leave it alone, but. I think he probably knew that I was
Yeah, you had a crush?
just on my doctor.
You know the girl.
My
But it's understandable though that you might have a crush on your doctor. I wouldn't have a problem. I would date my doctor in a heartbeat, as long as he's not some kind of those doctors that are doing that to have fun. Which I
Okay.
sometimes wonder if most male doctors that in that field is not doing it for access to those vaginas, because you have access to vaginas all day long that you don't have to necessarily have a relationship with.
Right.
But I mean,
That's true. They probably get bored. Like any job, you get bored.
After a while, it's no longer interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to do the Dear Help Team section of our show, and we'll be right back. You are watching QX TV, Cultural Experience Television. We will be right back. Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and the ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, Calford soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovakia dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 King Street in Toronto, Canada. Bringing QX TV to you on YouTube has been a real labor of love, but we're going to ask one little favor, that you click on the like option below and the subscribe option below. That's right, like us and subscribe to us. And if you want to know every time we load up a video, you can click on the notification bell and that will let you know every time we load up a video. But if you don't want to necessarily know every time we load up a video, you just want to like us and subscribe to us, just click on those options below so that we can continue bringing you this channel for years to come. Thank you for watching QXT. You are watching Caribbean House Talk. Okay, welcome back to Caribbean House Talk. And we are now going to get into our Dear Help Team segment of the show. So today, Dear Help Team, what would you confront someone who think they're always right? Would you confront someone who think they're always right? You know those people who know it all?
I have.
Yeah. What was the situation and how did you?
Well, there's so many situations, with this one person who just felt that he would tell me that I'm always right.
Oh.
So he's confident enough to say that he's always right. And I don't know if he was joking or whatever, but he said, look, this I know, and I'm saying you don't know.
So how did you handle it?
So the many times I would say, you're not always right, and I'll prove you, like depending on what you're saying, you're not always right. You don't know. You don't know everything. And he died. He died thinking that he was always
right.
There's so many instances that I couldn't even start telling you now.
Right.
But he thought that
he was always
whatever
right.
he said, he knew it. And I said, you have to do fact checking, He said, no, because I know in my heart that I'm right. Mm-hmm. And do you stop somebody?
How do you do that? I would say, I don't know that I sometimes say too much, but I don't mean to hurt people feel, but I say, do you ever stop for a second and think that maybe you don't know everything?
Oh, I've said all of that, but he just...
Okay. And that was a chronic case. What
I would not say a word, because there's no way you can convince someone who thinks they know it all, that they don't know it all. So I just save my breath, save my dignity, save my everything that I have intact, and walk away. Because it's either you lose a friend or you lose respect, or you're losing something when you try to convince someone you're not always right. So I just let it go.
The walk away sounds really good. However, I feel like at some point it's going to get on your nerves so bad. It will get on my nerves so bad that I'm going to say something, or I just won't be around you no more. Because I can't deal with that.
That's my walk
away. It gets
away.
to your boiling point.
Yeah. I walk away. I just gotta leave it alone, because it's no use trying. It's gonna do something. It's gonna cause some kind of damage with me. If it's me, it's gonna cause some damage. We might either lost each other's friends, or we might lose our dignity because we're trying to curse and carry on. And I like to.
No, I wouldn't curse. I would just ask.
Sometimes you get there. Sometimes you do get there.
You do get there sometimes, but then I wouldn't want to be friends. I wouldn't want to be friends. This lady over here knows that she's had to check me a couple of times. You know what I mean? With things that, and it didn't lose. No, the truth, but it didn't lose. We didn't lose our friendship.
You never know.
But to me, if somebody's going to get to the level of cursing me because I tell them, maybe you don't know this situation, or maybe,
it gets there.
Then, and it does.
It does.
But I'm saying
there.
I just won't be friends with somebody like that, because the one thing that you have to admit, I am a strong personality, but I'm not opposed to someone checking me. And sometimes I fight it, I'll be like,
But you know,
but
if
then I come right down.
If you're at the
and
But
point,
somebody who's really your friend, you should be able to tell them how
Right.
you feel.
Right.
You know, and maybe they'll get mad for a few minutes, but they know that you're saying things because you care about them.
Right.
You know, not to hurt somebody.
I rather
But
not
I
say
can't
anything.
be friends with somebody who's going to constantly think they're right all the time. You know, everybody else is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull back. That's
What-
just me.
Yeah, you pull back, you don't say anything. And
Yeah.
for me, I would think, well, I really don't belong in this circle because we're not seeing eye to eye here. And if you feel this way, then maybe we're not, you know.
Maybe we could be
I
friendly,
do,
but
we
not
will be friends, but to a
friends, yeah.
certain point,
Right, so you-
there is a cutoff point when it comes to me, and I'm different. I am totally different. I don't mind talking and discussing and saying things and stuff, but when it comes to someone who always beating you down to the point where I am right and you're wrong, and that's not my circle. So
Right, I
I put
don't need
myself
that.
out.
I don't need that.
that.
I
And
don't need
at
that.
my age, I choose my friends, and I choose who I want to be around. And if I'm not around you, hey,
You know,
It's
the
not
bottom line, I'm too old to say I'm trying to
to try
start
to
impossible
exactly.
friendships or stay in friendships that are impossible to be genuine
Exactly.
friendships.
You
That's
don't
my
need
feeling.
that. At that point, you don't really need
All right.
that. And as you get older, you're going to come to realize that certain people you really don't need in your life because they stress you out and you don't need to be stressed.
Mhm.
They do things to you that you really don't need, not for the sake of a friend. No,
Mhm.
I walk away.
Okay, so we're gonna move into the next section of our show. We're not gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break after this section, and we're gonna talk about. We're gonna do something on holistic health, which is what does lack of sleep do to the body? Well, you know, y'all know I'm always telling y'all. I have the worst case of hypochondriasis. I'm the world's biggest hypochondriac. Admittedly so. Now though, I could laugh about it, laugh at myself. I don't take myself serious. But I looked at this and I thought, Lord, the old me, I would have gone into a tizzy after I read some of these things. Because this is interesting. So what does lack of sleep do to the body? And you guys are out there, you're working 2 jobs or you're up studying all night. You really need to hear this because I could see a couple of these things that are affecting me already. Sometimes you're sleeping but you have broken up sleep. Okay. Lack of sleep. What does lack of sleep do to the body? You have trouble thinking and concentrating. That's one thing. You could have memory issues. It could affect your moods. You're having mood swings or getting angry easily. It could weaken your immune system. Increase risk for diabetes. Increase risk for high blood pressure. Weight gain. Risk of heart disease, increase your risk of heart disease, affect your balance, and you're more prone to have accidents because you're tired and not concentrating.
Exactly.
So if you're someone who is not sleeping well or you have broken up sleep, you might want to think about that. And you might want to have a cup of my soursop leaf tea. I drink a cup of this. But the only thing I would say, one thing I had to, my problem was not so much sleeping, but broken sleep. And I kept saying, why am I getting up every minute, every 3-4 hours? And I realized I was drinking too much water just before bedtime. So I started to cut off my water at about 6 o'clock. And I'll have my cup of soursop tea if I feel like I need, soothe myself a little bit. And then I go to sleep. But yeah, I could see a lot of this stuff at some point and it applied to me. So.
Well, I know if I'm having problems like that, I mean those things is not lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Because I sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I go and I go to bed at a certain time. I try to get to bed at 10:30. I sleep all night until 5. I go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's again it's discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you drink a lot of water in the day, but you cut off. I cut off. I try to cut off at probably 6. And so if I'm having hypertension and all that, is because of something else.
Well, the thing
Lack
is,
of
things
sleep.
will happen without even if you're getting good
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah.
But what they're saying, why do something that could help to acerbate them? Exacerbate them, acerbate them. Yeah. Why do something that could do that? You know what I mean? That they're not saying that if you sleep well, you're not going to get these.
Yeah, yeah.
Or they're not saying that everybody who don't get a lot of sleep, it would have these.
One thing I know, it
can't.
ages you if you don't get your sleep. It really does. You don't grow old gracefully because you're haggard when you wake up and all that. So but
Yeah.
it's good to get your sleep.
You know what I do every Saturday morning? I don't get out of my bed before 11 o'clock. And my kids know.
I wish I could do that.
My kids know, don't look at me come Saturday. That's my one day to recharge, to kind of sit. And I'm not necessarily sleeping. A lot of time I'll get up and I'll go back and take a short nap, and I'll get up, say, 8, 9 o'clock, and that's what I'm doing a lot of my posting. Right from my bed, I may be watching something on YouTube, watching something on TV, or just sitting there daydreaming. But that's my day to regroup. You know what I mean? So we all deserve to give ourselves that. So that if I'm lacking some sleep during the week, I get that Saturday morning to try to sleep a little bit later.
If I sleep after 8 o'clock in the morning, I feel I am apologizing. I'm so apologetic because I feel like, well, what did I do?
Wow.
If
It's the day.
I feel guilty that the sun is up and I'm laying in bed.
Oh,
after
no.
8
You
o'clock.
still got that Caribbean thing when you know.
Yeah.
When I get a day when I sleep late, I am like so happy. If I have like a weekday that I could sleep late besides the Saturday, I am so happy. Because my mind is always racing with things to do and that.
Yeah.
So when I have one, I'm ecstatic. I got a chance to sleep.
I just feel so guilty. I just get up and apologize for waking up.
Oh, no.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah, I just can't sleep late, no matter what. And it seems to always be like something that I need to do. I don't know. It's terrible.
You have a lot of stuff in your head.
In your head, yeah, a lot of
It's
responsibility.
yeah, it's overrunning you. So that's why. But for me, I wake up at 6 every morning. But I have one day I sleep late. Every Wednesday I sleep late. I actually sleep. Just lay there and sleep. Nobody wake me up. Nobody call me until I get up. But other than that, I get up at 6. I work. I start working at 9. And midnight, I cut off my machine, cut off my lights, cut off everything. Take my cup of tea. I go upstairs and I sit down in the thing. I drink. I watch a little something on TV, and then I feel sleepy. I go in my bed, and I'll get up at 6.
Get ready for
Because
Orwin.
no, on Wednesday is a different day.
Oh dear.
No, different. That's
This is
a
your
different
day. This
story.
is
That's
your
my
your
day.
day.
My day, and
Okay.
that's how it goes.
So get those Z's. Get some sleep in there, guys.
Yeah.
And if you're having any of these issues, maybe one of the things you simply could start doing is having more restful sleep. Drinking a lot of water, but don't drink it just before bedtime. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to do items in the news. We'll be right back. You are watching QXTV, Cultural Experience Television. We will be right back. Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and the ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, cowfoot soup, sour beer, ginger beer, Slovaki dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 Keele Street in Toronto, Canada. Bringing QXTV to you on YouTube has been a real labor of love, but we're going to ask one little favor, that you click on the like option below and the subscribe option below. That's right, like us and subscribe to us. And if you want to know every time we load up a video, you can click on the notification bell, and that will let you know every time we load up a video. But if you don't want to necessarily know every time we load up a video, you just want to like us and subscribe to us, just click on those options below so that we can continue bringing you this channel for years to come. Thank you for watching QXTV. You are watching Caribbean House Talk. Okay, welcome back to Caribbean House Talk. And we are going to talk today about items in the news. And what we're going to talk about is Jussie Smollett. Oh, Lord.
Jesse.
What is your take on what happened?
I don't know if anyone could be so blatant in lying so comfortable. I really think something maybe happened for him to have that much confidence. If he's lying, that's a great liar. If
Oh,
he
he's an actor.
is,
And they could
that's what
pretend.
my husband said. He's an actor. He can pull it off. But I just can't see anyone lying like that. I really can't.
I have
So
a different take
I
on
don't
that.
know.
I
I
have a different
really
take on
have
that.
to. I really have to
feel
pull
that
back on
Jesse
this one.
need
I have
help.
to.
I'm all over the place with it from the beginning. I thought that it had a little bit too much soup. Like some guys stopped him in Chicago and called him something homophobic and put a noose around his neck, and he still had the noose around his neck when he called the police, and they put some chemical on him. And I thought it had a little bit too much soup, but I thought similarly to the way you're thinking, which is, how could somebody, why would you lie like that? That would
Yeah,
take a
it's
really
just hard.
sick individual to do that. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And then the guy started saying that he paid them. And I thought, one of these guys, they got caught, and because they already know people had doubts about this guy, they're just trying to,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. And then afterwards, I got to the point of, there are people out here that are really doing homophobic and racist things. If this guy really lied like that, he has really done a lot of damage. Because now everybody who talk about something racist or something homophobic, it is going to be suspect or a hesitation for people to believe them. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm at right now. It's like I'm all like, if he is lying, like a lot of people seem to feel, this guy, he's going to be ruining his career.
He has already done that.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
isn't
All by
that,
himself.
that's really what his punishment is. That his career has gone down like that. Okay? I don't know whether he lied or not, because my thing also is like, why did the cops want to believe these other two guys as opposed to him? You had, so what? They said, oh, here's a check. The check said for, his workouts, okay? So we don't know that's true. We don't know who's lying and who's not. Why are they so quick to believe these other people as opposed to him? I don't know where I stand on it. All I know is that the punishment should always fit the crime. They're talking it's foolishness about, 16 counts, it's one crime, it's 16 indictments or whatever that came down on him. And now the whole black race is in a tizzy because of homophobia. That's a bunch of BS, okay? This one man didn't change the mind or make the world think we're all liars. They think that automatically on their own. Mm-hmm. This man did not do that,
And he didn't kill anybody.
He didn't kill anybody. He didn't steal. He didn't rob for anybody. He hurt himself. Okay? Let the punishment fit the crime. Okay? They're talking about up to 4 years. They're really exaggerating and really going overboard on this. My thing, give this fool, if he did it, give him a fine. Make him pay for all the expenses that were
Community
the
service?
police endured, and give him community service. This is not worth any jail time anywhere and in no way. You have these other people with the college scam, okay, these rich people, and I'm hearing, they'll probably just get community service. First they said maybe a year and a half of jail, but no, they're not going to get jail. They're going to get community service. I think their crime is worse than what happens with Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse hurt himself.
Have the punishment fit the crime.
Yeah.
And if he is lying, then he's already paying his price. Okay.
Well, regarding the college
Like
scam,
that.
they're hurting other people because other kids that could have gotten into those colleges, these people bought
Jesse
their
didn't
kids
hurt
way into
anyone
college.
but
He hurt
himself.
himself, and there
That's
should
it.
be repercussions in terms of but that really is happening. He's losing. His career is a mess.
Can I
So
say
and he
this?
deserves it if he lied.
Mental illness in this country is just really over the top. Maybe Jesse needs some help, and this is his way of crying out for some help. He needs help for somebody. If he did it, because we don't know if he's lying. If he did it, he needs help, and that's the way I see. I see him as my son. That was what really touched me, and he could be my son, and I feel that sons and daughters make mistakes too. So if he did it, he doesn't need more help than going to jail. Go get him a psychiatrist or something, or put him in the right position, and he's suffering right
But
now.
but you
he's
know what I don't
suffering.
like either? Is that those two guys who said they were part of this,
Where are they?
there are no
They
consequences
walk,
to them.
nothing.
They walk free.
Exactly. That's why this is what bothers
Yeah.
me about this mess.
Yes.
You let them walk away when they
Because
did
they have a
it.
good
They
lawyer.
took part as much as he did.
They have a good
So
lawyer.
how do you
I'm
let
not
them
impressed
walk
with
away
that lawyer.
with nothing?
Well, you know,
Nah,
they-
that lawyer ain't crap.
I don't
She
think
ain't saying nothing.
she ain't saying nothing. I think that just the police was prone already, and maybe they're right to believe that he was lying, and so it's like
The police
we
are
got
embarrassed.
him. We're not
They're
interested in those
embarrassed.
guys.
That's what it is.
they're embarrassed.
They are. And that's why they made such a big deal. Or the captain or whoever he was, he had to get on TV. Of course, a black
Yeah.
man. Oh, look what you set the whole black race back. Oh,
Oh,
stop
please.
that nonsense. That's a bunch of foolishness.
Oh.
He ain't set nobody back.
He
Cut the
ain't set
drama. So on both sides, there's drama on Jesse's side, there's drama on the cop side. Somewhere in between is the truth. And we may never know the truth. But whatever his punishment, let the punishment fit the crime. Give the guy, make him pay a hefty fine, give him community service,
Yeah.
and the rest is history because he's going to lose everything that he worked so
Anyway,
hard
exactly.
for. Whether he's telling the truth or not.
And there's still a chance that we might find out that these two guys are lying. I mean,
I don't
I
trust them.
don't trust them.
Me
I
too.
don't know if they're lying, but
Me too.
I don't trust them.
too.
And I feel that they should not.
For some
They should
reason.
not have gotten away scotch free. And that makes no sense to me. That part
Not
makes
at all.
no sense to me.
But you know, they have the court of law, so let's see what happens.
yeah.
You know, I think it's a double standard thing going on. But let's see what happens in the court of law.
All right. Well, this brings us to the end of this edition of Caribbean House Talk. We're gonna get into that college thing on another show. That college, that one
yeah.
really upset me. You know, I'm so sick and tired. This is how I'm gonna close here with this, and people are gonna get offended. Some people, I really don't care. Here's the thing: there are people in this. There are two standards of justice in this country. We see Harvey Weinstein. We see Bill Cosby. Both of them, in my opinion, did despicable things. The wheel of justice is turning really slow.
Very
But that
slow for
Harvey
Harvey
Weinstein, you
Weinstein.
barely hear about it anymore. But
Yeah.
everybody was quick to put Bill Cosby, and even among the black community, they're afraid to not say what I'm saying right now. We're not glorifying this guy. And I was one of the first people after I started hearing some of the people. I said, you know what? If there's that much smoke, there's fire. So I do believe he's guilty of a lot of what they're saying. I don't know if some things might have been exaggerated. I don't know, but I do believe he's guilty of some. But the wheels of justice is not equal in this country. One spins slow, one spins fast, depending on color. We see the Smollett thing, and let's throw the book at him. 16 counts. Okay. We see the
Insane.
we see the ladies who the Hollywood type and the big white hat shots who pay their kids way to college, kids who didn't even care to be in college. And you know what? It's okay because they have money, and we could just when white people do a crime, it is being whitewashed, and it is more white colorized. Okay, black people do a crime, and the same crime or something similar is being made to look dark and sinister, and you understand what I'm saying? So I got a problem with that. Two sides of justice in one country based on along color lines. That's all I'm saying. If Jesse's wrong, he has already destroyed his career anyway. Those Hollywood people, they had much far-reaching consequences in terms of affecting other people because their kids got into colleges they didn't deserve to get into, they didn't even care to get into. And
We're going to
poor
talk
kid.
about that one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one.
We gotta get into
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
we gotta get into that one because I'm telling you right now, that one really I'm incensed. Oh my God, that pisses me off. All right, but this brings us to this, to the end of this edition of Caribbean House Talk, and we hope that we'll see you on the next episode of Caribbean House Talk. We all enjoy bringing you this bit of edutainment, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bringing QXTV to you on YouTube has been a real labor of love, but we're going to ask one little favor, that you click on the like option below and the subscribe option below. That's right, like us and subscribe to us. And if you want to know every time we load up a video, you can click on the notification bell and that will let you know every time we load up a video. But if you don't want to necessarily know every time we load up a video, you just want to like us and subscribe to us, just click on those options below so that we can continue bringing you this channel for years to come. Thank you for watching QXTV.